The following program is powered by Ride the Wave Media.
Introducing the best podcast in Utah, Radio Daybreak. Here are your hosts, Just Blaine and Bex.
Yes, Bex, here it is, the best podcast in Utah, Radio Daybreak. I'm your host, Just Blaine. We're here. We got a great show lined up for us today. We got a great guest lined up. It's somebody that you've been telling me there's some sweet stuff going on, so I'm going to talk about that in a minute.
Definitely.
But also, Bex, last week we did Good People Doing Good Things. Mm-hmm. And was that not the most fun thing ever with Rob Adams and Thanksgiving Heroes? Oh my gosh. And then you also had Thanksgiving week last week. So we had lots to be thankful for, great family, great friends. What more could you have?
Completely. Yeah, it was great. It was great. There's a lot of gratitude to be spread, a lot of gratitude and thankfulness for sure. I mean, we're wrapping up the month of November, right? Like we're getting ready to roll into December. But I mean, how do you come off of that week that we had last week with Thanksgiving Heroes? Interviewed Rob, who committed to feeding 2,500 families this year, which when we saw this in action, I mean, 2,500 Thanksgiving dinners. Y'all just had Thanksgiving. You know what work it takes to just put one of those together? Blaine, the numbers came back and he ended up doing 3,100 families that we donated to this year through Thanksgiving Heroes. Just amazing what they do.
Can't wait to see what he does next year. Can't wait. But guess what? The good deeds, they keep rolling.
Don't we live in such an awesome community?
We do. But I've heard something about some little elves hitting the neighborhood. You got any info on this? Have you heard about this?
That's right. This is your first Christmas in our community.
It is.
Okay, so we have some mysterious elves here that tend to drop off little gifts throughout the neighborhood. And then they leave hints around the community where these little gifts end up. So we have our own community site, right, on Facebook. So there's little hints that are left there. So the mysterious elves, December is this week.
It is.
We are in the month of mysterious elves.
That's wild. Now, do you know what these prizes look like? Have you run across one of these yet?
As a matter of fact, there was one left on my doorstep today. And I think this is a bit of a teaser, to introduce this and start to get the word out.
Let's see it. I've got to see this. Ooh,
they're ready to go.
Got a little chocolate piece in there. What?
Apparently they've got some sweet treats, and I don't know what's in here, right? Because I am going to just actually put this back on my porch. I think the Mysterious Elves wanted us to just get the word out on the podcast to let them know, hey, December's coming, and these are going to start to be found around the community. So there's the word.
That's a super sweet surprise. I know we got another super sweet surprise, and that is our guest today. We're going to go out to Biscott's. Yeah. We got to also give a great shout out to Biscott's here for letting us come out to their venue and set up and have this interview. It's awesome. This is going to be a good spot for us to have, and we're going to have a bunch of business owners in there because it's lively. It feels nice. So you might hear a bunch of racket going on in the background, but don't let that take away from this.
'Tis the season. Great. You'll hear the Christmas music.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Let's go.
You said something about our guest today.
Yes.
Being linked to something sweet. So tell me about our guest. Who we have?
Oh, I just have Willy Wonka's BFF here with us today. Local daybreaker, has her own business here. Been in business for quite some time.
Okay.
But we have got Emily with Deep Dark Drinking Chocolate.
Okay.
She's going to share her story with us of how this came to be and what this product is.
All right,
it is so good.
Let's bring her in.
All right, let's do it. Hi, Emily. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course.
I got to kick it off with this. How? Why? Not many people. Not many people wake up one day and are like, I'm going to make chocolate. So how did this come up? How did you get started here?
Well, I've always loved chocolate.
Oh, who don't? Who doesn't, right?
Who doesn't? But I started early being a little bit of a chocolate snob.
Okay.
Because my family spent some time living in Switzerland.
Okay.
Wow.
And that was back in the day when you couldn't get good imported chocolate very easily in the United States.
Okay.
So I developed a real taste for good chocolate.
You were spoiled at a young age.
Yes,
with some
I
amazing
was,
chocolate.
for better or worse. I'm not sure.
So what age? How old were you when you were there?
11 and 12.
So that's when you started thinking about this, is about 11, 12 years old.
Well, I started becoming aware of the differences in quality of chocolate.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah.
After that, you're never quite satisfied, right?
For sure.
Oh,
when
you
you've
can't
had the
be.
best, right? Your palate started with the best of the best.
Right?
So.
Yeah. Just through my growing up years, I always made my own hot cocoa. Or if I used hot cocoa, I would add stuff to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'd create my own blends.
Okay.
And I was always experimenting with adding spices and thickeners, and I always added way more cocoa, like to make it darker.
Yes.
You could say I was sort of on a journey to find the perfect cup of hot chocolate. But I don't think I really found it until I was older and traveling and discovered drinking chocolate.
Oh, now you got to tell us about what is drinking
because
chocolate.
that is not something that is super common in the United States, right? Like this is a
isn't.
European
Yeah.
kind of
You're not talking.
South
This is not.
America.
This is not hot chocolate, hot Coke. This is not like.
Yeah, tell us the difference, especially to the listeners who have never experienced this.
Yes. It is not hot cocoa. You
Yeah.
look at a hot cocoa recipe, it's usually sugar, cocoa powder, maybe some hydrogenated stuff.
Sure.
Rat pellets and
Yeah,
whatever else.
all
Yeah,
sorts
just
of
crazy
horrible
stuff out there.
No,
Yeah.
I won't dog on hot cocoa.
No.
I love a good cup of hot cocoa.
Who doesn't, with the winters
I'm
in
not
Utah?
going to say no. The number one ingredient in real drinking chocolate is chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so generally you have to buy it at a cafe or someplace where they can make it from scratch.
Sure.
Or where they melt the chocolate. So in my drinking chocolate mix, my number one ingredient and the major ingredient in the bag is real dark chocolate.
Ooh. All right, I got to stop you right here because is that canteen right there? Is that what's in there? Is this
Yes,
drinking chocolate?
I brought some for you to try today.
She brought us a thermos
Can
of
you? I got
drinking
to have some of
chocolate.
this. Pour us a cup of this bag, so I got to see it. Let me see
All
that.
right.
When you pour it coming out, oh my gosh, it's so thick. This stuff will not go through a strainer. Like this is not cocoa. Let me try a little bit of
It
this.
is not.
So what flavor is this? Because I know you have different flavors that you
Yeah.
make.
I have 3 flavors.
Wow. And it's all over my mouth.
Oh yeah, you got it all over.
That
Yeah.
is, that's delicious.
So good. This
That's
has a
delicious.
little bit of a kick to it.
That's got some cayenne pepper in there. Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's called Cayenne Kick, and it does have a little bit of cayenne and some other spices too. I call it chocolate with an exclamation point.
Oh, that's
that
absolutely
is
the best name
delicious.
that there is for that because that's amazing. That does have
And
a
I
kick,
love
but it's not a bad
spice.
kick.
And that's what I was going to say. I love spice, but this is not spicy that somebody who, doesn't care to have spice couldn't tolerate this. It's just
Yeah.
there's a little spice in there and I think it really, to your point, kind of elevates that chocolate.
I think you need to market this for the cold season because when people get a cold and they're looking for a little, I'm from the South if you can't tell.
Right.
So we had the hottie toddies, the whiskey with the honey.
Right.
Well, there's some people out here that don't like alcohol, so you need to start
This
marketing
is the
this.
Utah-friendly version.
Yeah, the Utah-friendly version of
Well,
the hottie toddy here.
It's interesting that you say that because one of the places, I've had it all over the place, but one of the places I had it was in a cafe in Portland, and it was really, really good. And when I came home, I thought, why isn't there more of this in Utah?
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a
We have the seasons for it, right?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
definitely.
What other products do you offer? You have bags of chocolate. I see on our table here. Tell us about some of the other stuff you have.
So I have 3 flavors. I do Daily Fix, which is straight up dark chocolate.
You heard it here. She said daily.
There you
this
go.
Is becoming my new morning routine through the winter.
And I said Daily Fix because
Yes.
I
Yeah.
find that if I have a cup of this, then I stop scrounging through the house the rest of the day looking for chocolate.
Oh,
I've been
brilliant.
known to pull like chocolate chips out of granola bars when I need a chocolate fix.
Yeah.
So none of that. Once I have some of this, I'm set.
Yeah. And so you talked about that one. What other couple of flavors do you have here?
So the Daily Fix, the Cayenne Kick, and the Orange Zest.
Ooh.
We've got to try that one. How do you source your ingredients and ensure the quality of your chocolate?
Well, when I first started doing it, that was actually a pretty big obstacle to
Okay.
try and find the right ingredients. How do you make this product to be in a bag that people can make themselves at home?
Yes.
And I understand why you don't see a lot of it on the shelves. It's a very difficult product to make.
Yeah.
So I experimented with many different kinds of chocolates, how I got them, where they were from, were they ethically sourced, and then I tried all different kinds of ingredients. In fact, it's interesting you ask this because something people might not know about
Yeah.
me is that I come from a family of scientists,
Oh, all right.
like serious scientists.
Wow.
So she's got a background for this.
So
She's got the
I'm
chemistry.
I'm a creative person, but when I went to develop the recipes, I actually went about it with a very scientific method where I would just try different things and then I would alter one slight ingredient or one slight,
Yeah.
part
amazing.
of
Yeah.
the formula, you could say.
So
Yeah.
I got to ask you a serious question.
Yeah.
Now, this recipe, have you seen the episode of Friends where they have the single cookie and they're trying to figure out the
Yes.
recipe? I got to ask you, the name that comes from this recipe, you didn't find this from Nestle Toulouse,
No,
did you?
I did
Okay,
not.
okay.
No.
This is
I know what you're talking about. That's funny. No, this is my secret recipe. And it's
that's awesome.
It's influenced by different things that I've tried. But I went home and I spent weeks developing my formulas till they were just what I thought was perfect. And I would bring people in and do taste tests.
Oh, that's
I had
awesome.
a lot of friends during that time.
If you're ever looking like for a taste tester, Blaine and I volunteer.
Oh,
because this is
absolutely.
amazing. This is
yeah, I'm
absolutely
going to
amazing.
gain weight and everything off of this. I don't know. Or do
Well,
you
you
not
all-
gain weight? How
you
about
all
that?
get a little bit.
Because you get satisfied with, it's very strong. You
don't
have
want
a small
much.
cup, and it actually doesn't have that many calories in it. It's
Yeah.
very strong, it's very potent, and then you're like satisfied.
Yeah,
So
I
tell
noticed
me,
it.
you sell this in the bags. First, a couple of questions. How long have you been in selling this?
I started about 5 years ago,
Okay.
and I've gone through different iterations. I'm still in the process of figuring it out.
Oh, I love it. Well, that's why we wanted to have you on the show. We really want to get your name out there, your product out there. How can people go ahead and find you and order this?
Well, you can go on my website, which is deepdarkdrinkingchocolate.com. And through that, you can either order it directly or it has a contact form where you can reach out to me if you want to make a special order or you want me to deliver it, because I do deliver free in Daybreak.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
And we're looking here. These bags are, 10-ounce bags. So this will last a while because
does.
we're only talking like an ounce of this.
It is.
How do I mix this when I get home? Like, is it complicated? Tell me like the tips and tricks of how to mix this up.
It's very easy. I've developed it where I can basically have a giant chocolate bar in a bag plus some other things.
Oh,
and
yum.
so you have a powder mix
Okay.
that put a scoop of that into your saucepan and then the right amount of milk
Okay.
or your milk substitute. And you just stir it while it heats up until it starts to bubble, and then you take it off the heat and it's done. It's ready
Really
to go.
straightforward.
Yeah, it's really easy. It gets nice and thick, just the right amount of thickness. So it isn't thin like hot cocoa. It's thicker, more like syrup,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which makes it so it actually works really well as an ice cream topping.
Ooh.
too.
Oh,
Wow.
there's the tips and tricks. The the behind the scenes,
She'd
what we
be fun
wanted
to have
know.
around all the time, like especially right now around the holidays. Like, how do you incorporate your chocolate into the holiday season for anything? Or
Oh yeah, it makes a great Christmas gift.
oh yeah,
And
yes.
and actually, I generally sell it just seasonally.
Okay.
And I make gift baskets too.
ah,
How fun. Yeah, I could see that this would be perfect in a gift basket. I might need to buy 10 more of these from you.
you know
Or,
what?
20.
You know what we're gonna do? We're
What's that?
gonna get one of these gift baskets. We'll do a giveaway on
Let's
our
do
social
it.
media
Yeah, let's do it.
because this week the Wonka movie comes out. We're gonna add a pair of movie tickets from Megaplex in there to a Wonka with some chocolate from you.
Oh,
we'll do
I
a
love
social
it.
media giveaway. Speaking of Wonka, like, did that have any influence on you at all, Willy Wonka?
Well, in my dreams,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
of course, we grew up with Gene Wilder, and
Yes.
he
Yes.
was fantastic. And
The
that
OG.
world, I want that chocolate waterfall.
Oh, right.
Oh, I want to live there.
Who doesn't? That was amazing.
Here's a big question for you. You said the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory movie. You got the new one with what's his name, Timothy
Chalamet, yeah.
That's gonna be awesome. The old movie though. Do you remember all the kids in there? Which one of those kids do you most relate to in that factory?
Veruca Salt.
Me too. That's the one. Yes. I love Veruca Salt. Tell me why.
There was
Tell me why
no
you love her.
hesitation there.
Why do you love Veruca Salt? Like
Oh, she's got moxie. I love it. And because they made a band with her name, so.
they did, and I love the band too. Great band, great music.
Yeah.
Veruca Salt. I used to play that on my
Yes.
Apple Music show with Strombo, George Strombolopoulos. I think we even had Veruca Salt on.
Oh,
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
awesome.
One more note about that movie I got to go off on.
Yeah.
People don't realize his Grandpa Joe, that guy, he was a bum. He laid in that bed, but he jumped out. Think about it. He I hope you don't have a Grandpa
Here's a
Joe out
poser,
there.
huh?
I hope you don't have a Grandpa Joe out there that when this thing takes off, that they hop right up out of the bed like they've been there for years. Like, that makes me so mad. You watch that movie again and tell me that guy's not.
I'm going to go home and watch this and get a refresh.
Yeah, he's the real villain of that movie. I'll tell you that now. I digress. Thanks for being with us, Emily.
Yeah.
DeepDarkDrinkingChocolate.com.
Yeah.
Social media, you give us our handles. If not, we'll get them out there. We'll make
just
sure we
search
tag.
Deep Dark Drinking Chocolate, because that's what it is on Instagram.
Appreciate you coming by. This is awesome. Thank you for bringing some product too, because I'm good. I'm good for the day. That was it. I got my chocolate fix. Need nothing else. Thank you. Bex, that chocolate was amazing. Like, she had the most incredible recipe for that dark drinking chocolate, which, hey, go to her website, deepdarkdrinkingchocolate.com, and you guys got to order some of that. We also got that giveaway with her chocolate.
Yes.
Deep Dark Drinking Chocolate bag, and 2 tickets to see Wonka.
Yes.
That's gonna be awesome. It might be 1 ticket, Bex, because I might be the other person that goes.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Or maybe it's a 4-pack and we bring 2 guests.
We'll have to wait. Yeah, there you go. We'll come with you. We'll come with you to the movie if you want us to. But you know what? Something else has been bothering me, Bex.
What is it?
I got to get back on the serious subject.
Okay.
This Grandpa Joe thing is bothering me big time. I kept thinking about this even more. Now, listen to this. Not only did this guy jump right out of bed like he was 18 years old again, and somebody's daddy just walked in on him and his precious son or daughter, it's 2023, could be either one.
Yeah.
So outside of him being lazy, let's not forget he was a thief. He tried to get Charlie to steal some chocolate when he was in that factory.
Oh.
He was also selfish. He had a secret hoard of money he was hiding from his family. Remember when he had the money?
You are fired up.
Listen, he's got a laundry list of things that are going against him. But guess what? I'm not the only one that feels this way. I did a little research, and I found a site called Say No to Grandpa Joe.
Really?
Listen to this. They even go as far as to say that Grandpa Joe was a full-blown industrial spy, and they back it up with evidence.
What? Okay, you got to show me your research.
Hey, who am I? Hey, I'm just playing, and that's just my opinion, but
there you
I
go.
digress. Tell us some happy news. Get me off of this Grandpa Joe fix.
Let's get back on the happy subject. I mean, we started this episode, with our mysterious elves. So let's get back on a happy
That's
subject.
Right. So tell us about this jolly holiday party going down this Saturday, right? It's this Saturday?
It is. Yes, it is this Saturday. Can you believe it's already going to be December this week?
Wow.
Like wild. But yes, we have got a little flyer here. These have gone out in the mail, y'all. So make sure you're checking your mailboxes. This is for the Jolly Holiday Party. It's happening this Saturday. And guess who's going to be there?
Ooh, I can't wait.
Santa.
Hey, it's still
He'll
on
be
that
there.
I get to interview Santa, right?
You
still
do.
gonna-
Yes, we are actually going to talk to the big man himself.
Hey, if you've got questions you want to ask Santa, you better hit us up because we're going to get them in. We'll get them in.
True.
If you got anything you want to ask him, get in touch with us. You can go to
Yes.
radiodaybreak.com. You can go to the bestpodcastinutah.com. You can find out all of our info. Instagram, what are we at? Instagram, at Radio Daybreak.
Yeah.
Hit us up. Get in touch because you got to ask Santa a question. You don't get this chance all the time. So that'll be coming up.
Absolutely. Really quick, I do want to say that it is from 4 to 7 and it's open house style. And it's right here in South Jordan. So we're really close. So if you want to save that question and talk to Santa yourself, swing by the party.
Absolutely.
You can keep it confidential just between you and Santa if you want.
Absolutely. I love that. Let's do that.
Yep.
Now tell us what's coming up next week's show.
Yeah, so next week we have another Daybreaker, amazing Daybreaker. This is going to be Sarah Elbert that will be visiting the show, and she is with Daybreak Treasures Boutique.
Awesome. Can't wait for that.
Not going to tell you anymore. You'll find out more next week.
That's all I need to know. I can't wait. This was a great show. We got to thank Emily from DeepDarkDrinkingChocolate.com for coming on.
Biscots again. A little shout out to them. See you next week.